Happy Thursday. You hear that? TV's on. No, I muted it. Still on. It's kind of what happened yesterday. I had the TV on. We have been paying close attention to the weather this week. It has not been good. Monday, what was projected as a normal routine thunderstorm, kind of lingered, and it dumped a lot of rain. We had severe flash flooding. Low-lying areas, streets were 3 feet underwater. Downtown historic district was a disaster. It's in a very low-lying area right at the main waterfront, where the main harbor is, where commercial fishing fleet is, State Pier, where freighters come in, and a lot of other communities. Basements completely flooded. Apartments, big apartment buildings where the first level was like halfway below ground level, they got flooded. Furniture was floating around. It was bad, real bad. Even next door in Providence, Rhode Island, it was bad. In fact, we still haven't quite recovered some areas. Some streets are still shut down with drainage issues. And then there's more coming. That's why I had the news on with the volume off, checking the weather. Today, we're getting another severe rainfall. Expected to hit us around, I gotta be at the VTH at 9:30 this morning. I gotta get a couple guys to doctor appointments up at the Hawthorne Medical Center in North Dartmouth, Massachusetts. We're expecting heavy rainfall today. Expecting another inch to an inch and a half of rain on top of what still hasn't gone away. And then it gets even worse this weekend. That hurricane that's coming up, up here in the Northeast, we kind of hang out a little bit, and here in Massachusetts on Cape Cod, we're sticking out even more. It's not going to be a direct hit, it'll be offshore, but they're saying we'll get 80-mile-per-hour winds and more heavy rainfall, so they're already preparing for that, and it's causing some serious problems here. So I was really focused on the weather, and they were showing, the 5-day forecast, and they were focusing on today, and it was Thursday, and I saw the Thursday on it, and I got a brain fart, Aside from that, what else is going on around here? Fast Eddie passed away. A very well-known, well-liked guy. He passed away at age 107. They called him Fast Eddie. He was a hot rodder back in his day. Owned and operated a garage. He had a couple employees there. And besides general automotive repair, he was a hot rodder. He liked hot rods. But I mean hot rods like, T-buckets and street rods. And he even had a yellow coupe like Milner had in American Graffiti. It looks just like it. He had a 327 in it. Done just like the movie. Same chrome reverse wheels, And it was well known, well respected, well liked. He passed away at age 107. And what else is going on? I haven't heard much with Sanford's electric go-kart. What's up with that? How far is that project right along? Is he already announcing a big $5,000 match race with Dr. Doolittle there? Whatever the fuck that doctor's name is, he's got an electric. Has he set up a big match race yet? To drum up attention, to get views and clicks, to make money? Or was that a one and done too? Oh, look, I'm going to do this, do that, boom. You know what Sanford does? It's been a very long time since I bought magazines. In fact, it's funny. I remember at one time, to go to a supermarket, that last checkout aisle, they always had that big wooden rack with a top tier and a bottom tier. Every magazine you wanted, from cars, motorcycles, boating, hunting, fishing, knitting, pottery, you name it. And magazines all have a formula to them. They want to sell you that magazine. They want your attention. Covers usually big, bright, bold colors. Lime green, red. Car magazines, a picture of a cool car, a cool engine. And very common, 10 ways to get free horsepower. Say free horsepower, people are going to want to buy that magazine. You know what I mean? I guess that was the Stone Age version of clickbait. And you buy the magazine, they tell you a little this or that, but it's usually pretty fluffy stuff. Nothing really in-depth and detail. And then when they were going to have like an engine build, they'd show you an engine article about what they're going to do, and then the next month issue comes out, you don't hear about it anymore. You know, now it's something newer and bigger and better. You know, there's a formula to it. And I think people get accustomed to that. They don't really expect much in magazines. They don't really expect magazines to go through with one of their projects they put out on a cover, or even as a feature story inside. It's basically pictures, a write-up. They have a viewer, you know, write in, people write in with questions, whatnot, question and answer. They'll have an editorial. You know, it's a basic formula. You know, like movies have a formula to them. I mentioned, you know, car movies, you know, the ones I thought were a joke, like Days of Thunder. That was, you know, a formula movie. Even critics bashed it. They said it was Top Gun on wheels. They took Tom Cruise out of a plane, put him in a car. Same formula. You know, arrogant, cocky kid, meets up with a rival, meets a girl, falls in love. Him and rival butt heads, have their little feud. They end up becoming best buddies. Boy fucks girl. The end. You know what I mean? A formula to things. And movies have carried that formula. TV shows have carried a formula. And that's how it is in the magazine world. And that's all Sanford really knows. What he's done is taken the magazine formula format and brought it to YouTube. That's all he's done. You know what I mean? Except on here, he doesn't have the luxury he had with a magazine, where people write in, hey, what happened to that project, you know, well, 3 issues ago? We haven't heard or seen from it anymore. What happened? You said you were going to do this. It was going to run this time. You never even showed it back. When these letters get written, you know, letters to the editor and question and answers, they don't get published. You know what I mean? The way Sanford deletes comments. You know what I mean? He's basically doing the only thing he knows. He's taken the magazine world to the video age here on YouTube. That's all he's done. Because that's all he knows how to do. Yak about something, talk about it, get attention, how they want to sell that issue's magazine. He wants to get views on their video to make money. It's all about the cha-ching. You know what I mean? It's very routine. It's nothing new. You know, it's nothing new, especially with magazine guys. And a lot of magazine guys, you know, they do a lot of research on things. They do. You know, doesn't mean they're good at it. They may know a lot. They're just not able to do a lot. And what they are able to do, they don't do it very well. You know, a lot of them are wannabes. This happens with writers, sports writers, you know, fantastic sports writers. Turn on ESPN, Undisputed, Shannon Sharp's no longer on, they would skip Bayless. Shannon played the game, you know, a Hall of Fame football player, very good football player in his day. Skip Bayless never played anything, but he knows everything about every fucking sport. He just studies statistics, stats, watches this game, watches that game, and talks about it. You know, ask him to run out and catch a pass, and he can't fucking do it. But he can write about it. You know what I mean? But I guess you don't really need the ability these days. It's all about an image you craft, you present, put out to the public, and you don't have to be really good at it. All you need to do is sell yourself, sell your personality, sell your persona. And Sanford's gone through many changes with his persona, personality, trying to find one that clicked and worked. He found it. You know, you look at his very early videos, he's not the same fucking guy in his looks, his approach. You know, I think I mentioned this one time. I could be wrong, but I think I mentioned it. Real fast talker, like these guys that come on this infomercial. Wait, if you're going to win the first 50 yards, but wait, there's more. You know, very fast talker. He's barely finishing a sentence and it gets chopped and edited. Now he's in like a new scene and he's blah, 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 like rapid fire. You know, and looking even more grubby than he does today. And he's kind of like changed his image, his persona, to find one that, I guess, is more people-pleasing. He's all about image and personality. Definitely not about any real talent when it comes to car building and engine building. He rarely does it himself. He finds others to do it for him. That's also inconvenience for him. When things go wrong, he has them to fucking blame rather than himself. This time, you know, he has himself to blame with that, you know, badass 500 horsepower 383 that he still keeps making excuses for. You know what I mean? I forget. You know, did he say he was going to get it back to the track in a couple of weeks or whatever? It's all sorted out, and now he's on to something else there. Car that, it's kind of funny, somebody mentioned that to me. I do recall that he said, you know, his first project, that 4-door Belvedere, now he's going to be his mule car. He's going to put the Slant 6 from Plan 9 from outer space that he scrapped the body at a scrapyard the way he did with the Mazda Miata. Said initially had a 331 Hemi. I don't know much about them, but I heard they were okay, but they were like, you know, back in the day when they came out, they were like 180 horsepower. They were not a badass engine. You know, you hear Hemi, you think, oh, no, at 331, it's not a badass engine. It was like 180 horsepower. But it was a Hemi. And it was tied. He was going to rebuild it. And somebody mentioned, was it Mr. Swinger again? He seems to, you know, bring a lot of important things to my attention that I missed. I said, yeah, you know, it's funny. Now he brings it out, and there's no mention of that 331 in it. Wouldn't that be an engine you want to build rather than a fucking Slant 6? At least you're starting out with 180 horsepower, which is probably a little bit more than what that fucking Slant 6 is making right now. You know what I mean? And you could get that thing up to, maybe if he knew how to do things right, he could probably get that up to 300, 3.25 horsepower. You know what I mean? If he knew what to do, but obviously he doesn't. All he knows how to do is fuck around with a Slant 6 and a 318. When he sticks his hands into a big block, you see what happens. It turns to total fucking shit based on his imagineering, you know? Anyway, I guess that's about it for today. I gotta get going. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the weather here. By the time I'm out and up in North Dartmouth, and it takes a few hours there waiting in the waiting room, waiting for them. They have their testing, x-rays, blood work, this, that, the other thing, and then see their doctors. It turns into like a 4-hour ordeal. Sometimes 5, depending on how many people are there. And then that heavy rain's going to be hitting, so coming back on Route 195, it's got some real low-lying areas. That was on the news. 195 was shut down. 2-mile stretch was shut down. They showed cars stranded water up to the fucking door handles on the cars and shit. So I got to really pay attention to the weather today. Yesterday I was paying attention to today's weather with the volume off. Like right now, I'm still watching it with the volume off. You know what I mean? So that's why you got an extra happy Thursday on Wednesday. So enjoy your day, have fun, and stay safe.